Welcome to this new lesson centered on the topic of presence, immersion and agency. At the end of this lesson, you will understand some basic concepts related to XR environment that make people feel involved in a virtual or augmented experience. In this lecture, you will learn what is the concept of presence, how it differs from immersion, and what are the meanings of embodiment and sense of agency. The sense of presence is a critical concept in extended reality. It has received different definitions, but it usually refers to the concept of being in another place, even if your body is still physically in the real world. When users feel present, they aren't just interacting with a system, but they feel as the virtual world is the real one. How sharply users focus their attention on the virtual environment partially determines how involved they will be in that environment. Presence is often confused with immersion, but experts in this field suggest a distinction between these two concepts, where immersion is defined more as an attribute of a system that is immersive. For example, if you consider an headset, the field of view, the binocular vision, the head tracking are all features that support an immersive experience. Presence instead is the subjective phenomenon caused by these immersive features that make you feel like you are really present in the virtual environment. Immersion is quantifiable, but you should not assume a one-to-one relationship between immersion and presence, because the sense of presence as a subjective experience is only quantifiable by the user experiencing it. Then there is the concept of embodiment, which is associated with three main aspects: sense of self-location, sense of agency, sense of body ownership. Self-location and presence are psychological states that refer to different issues. Self-location refers to the relationship between myself and my body, while presence refers to the relationship between myself and the environment. An example of self-location could be the feeling that oneself is located inside an avatar's body, while the analogous for presence would be the feeling of oneself being located in a physical or virtual room, even without a body representation, similar to what happens in a 360 video. The sense of agency refers to the sense of having global motor control, including the subjective experience of action, control, intention, motor selection, and the conscious experience of will. Agency is present in active movements, and it results from the comparison between what you expect to be the sensory consequences of an action and the actual sensory feedback perceived. Obviously, the sense of agency is very sensible to delays in the responses or to mismatched movements that can often cause what is defined as motion sickness. One of the most accepted theories to explain motion sickness is the sensory conflict theory, according to which when conflicting sensory informations are received, they can cause a sense of disorientation with different symptoms. For this reason, it is very important to accurately track user movements and provide natural interactions with the virtual environments, involving, for example, multimodal feedback that rely on different sensory modalities. For instance, if you reach out to grab an object in VR, it must feel like your movement and the object response are synchronized, but in this case, adding an haptic feedback could really improve the overall experience, making it way more natural and realistic. Finally, body ownership refers to one's self-attribution of a body. It has a possessive character, and it implies that the body is the source of the experience sensation. The example of the rubber hand illusion is one of the simplest ways to explain this concept. In this illusion, a rubber hand is placed in front of you, while your real hand is hidden. Then the fake hand is brushed at the same time of your hidden hand. And this simple sight is enough to make you feel like the fake hand is actually part of your body. This is possible thanks to a combination of bottom-up processes where tactile and visual feedback are provided together, matching sensory expectations, and also because of top-down influences that in this case are provided by the similarity of the fake hand to a real hand. The same process can happen for virtual hands or even entire body avatars in a virtual scenario. And this is crucial when performing training programs because it will increase the effectiveness of the overall experience and facilitate knowledge transfer. In conclusion, presence, immersion, and embodiment all work together to make virtual experiences feel real. When we truly feel in the environment, connected to our virtual body and to the world around us, the experience becomes much more powerful and meaningful. In the next lesson, you will learn how to design an experiment and test your hypothesis.